Did you know that the fear of failure is ruining your life? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about how to overcome that specific fear so that we can begin to walk on the path of the success that we desire. If that sounds good to you, I do videos like this all the time. So please share this video with one person. Thank you. Back around when I was 11 or 12 years old, listen, I was really into basketball. I was fascinated with two players of mine that were my favorite. That was LeBron and D-Rose. It just excited me to see the way that they approach the game every time they step on the court. Their dribbling ability, LeBron's defense, D-Rose's athleticism, his fearlessness. D-Rose was easily about 6'1", I think, and had like 7'2" confidence the way that he just came at you. He didn't care who you were, how tall you were, how big you were. If you were in the paint, he's coming at you like a freight train. And you can say the same for LeBron, what he's been known for throughout his whole career. I was just so fascinated with all the aspects of that game that I would go outside and try to mimic all of it. I'm working on my passing, my shooting, my defending, and my dribbling. Now, this was also the same time that I attended the Boys and Girls Club. Now, on one specific day, the coordinators for the Boys and Girls Club, they had on the bulletin board, you could sign up because we was about to start a basketball league. So I said, you know what? Let me sign up and show these boys what my thing. So I ended up signing up, and maybe a couple of months later, we started to have our league. Now, what's cool about this is that not only did I get a chance to showcase my talent, I got to play for the team of one of my favorite players that I respect a lot. I got a chance to play for the Bulls, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It was our first game. I come into like the walk-in area first, and I could hear within the gym, the crowd just go up crazy. I mean, like it was just boos, chuckles, roars, and chants. And I could also hear my sisters cheerleading as well. And for the first time in my life, I realized I had a fear of failure. I didn't want to fail in front of these people because I knew that the chants were going to erupt in a way that wasn't in my favor. As I began to enter the gym, my heart is pounding. I mean, like it was goodness. My heart was racing like Usain Bolt. It just would not stop, and it was so loud. It was the loudest thing that I heard within the gym. So I remember stepping on the court amongst me and my teammates and my coaches. And so we started running our drills, and I'm breaking everything from layups to free throws, from mid-ranges to three-pointers. I mean, like if I shot it, it was not going in. I was so nervous. So after we finished our drills, we just started freestyling. I got me a basketball and I just started dribbling. That was the one thing that I could do effortlessly. So I'm dribbling. I'm just cooking. I'm just dribbling by myself. And my coaches are paying attention to me. I noticed it out of the corner of my eyes. And so they sent one defender at me to try to get this ball. And I'm thinking, hold on. He can't take this from me. I'm just cooking this joker. It had to be Thanksgiving because I was feasting on this joker. So they see the way that I'm cooking him. So they was like, hey, come here. They sent another dude to try to take the ball from me. So I'm cooking both of them at the same time. I mean, like it's finger licking over here. And they were surprised about this because I was cooking. And they were probably thinking, was this the same dude that was breaking all the shots? So they was gonna give me my biggest shot. They was gonna send out another defender, 3 people, to try to see if they could take this rock from me. And I was ready. But before I could face the challenge, is the whistle of the ref, indicating that it's time to start the game. Coaches, get your boys on the benches and give me your starting 5. I see my coaches stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. They wanted me to start the game because of what I display with my dribbling. And you thought that my heart was racing like Usain Bolt. Listen, at this point, it was like the kid from The Incredibles, or it was like Roadrunner. I think his name Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. I'm like, it was just racing fast. And as me and my teammates began to step on the court, my heart is visibly beating fast. I mean, like, it was just, you could see my heart pounding. And as the ball go up to start the game, as they say, the rest is history. And you want to know how I did? I was trash. I mean, like, I was pooped that game and the whole series. I had so many turnovers that game, it didn't make no sense. I ain't really fired that much. I bricked a lot though. I definitely bricked a lot. Man, I'm thinking about it now. I almost want to erase that part from my history, man. I was so garbage. It wasn't even funny. But from that experience, I was just entering middle school and I really wanted to play in middle school. But thinking back on the failures that I experienced from the Boys and Girls Club, I made so many excuses why I wasn't going to try out. And eventually, I lost that passion that I once had for playing basketball. So why do I tell this story? Because like I said earlier, the fear of failure ruins so many of our lives. We don't even realize it. We're afraid to start something because of what the potential outcomes could be. And what's crazy for me in my experience, I was afraid to fail and I was manifesting that failure. Like the very outcomes I didn't want to happen, they were already happening before me. And it was because my mind was so fixated on not failing, on not making a fool of myself. And because that fear was eating me so much inside, I allowed it to prevent me from doing what I desired to do. I wanted to play on that middle school team. I wanted to play in high school, but I was making too many excuses based on my previous experiences, based on not wanting to fail in public. Now, I mentioned that this happened in the age of 11 to 12 years. I was also engaged in public speaking around the same time, so I got a chance to conquer that fear of failure within that aspect. And this is what I learned. If you want to overcome the fear of failure, you got to recognize that you are human. You are the most imperfect person on this planet, just like everybody else. And you will fail in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you fail in life, that's cool. All that matters is if you get up and continue to keep walking. That's what matters the most. That's what I needed to understand at that young age. We all fail. We all make mistakes. We all come up short, and that's okay. Those are moments in life that we can learn from, learn what to do, what not to do. We have to be able to reconcile with the idea that failure is inevitable because we are human, but we can't allow perceived failures to prevent us from doing what we desire to do. That's when we come up short in life. That's when we prevent ourselves from growth and obtaining the results that we want. So throughout public speaking, I would make some rookie mistakes. I would not look at the crowd. I would speak with the monotone voice. I would look down. I was reading off my paper, not making eye contact, and it sounded scripted the whole time. I was making all these mistakes. But what I realized is that the kids that I were competing against, they were making the same mistakes, which means there was so much room for me to grow. There was no reason for me to have a fear of failure because they were making the same mistakes. So if we're all human and we're all making the same mistakes, the fear of failure is not logical to have at all. That encouraged me that, hey, you can be better than this. Matter of fact, this is really fun. You should be better than this. You know the areas that you're struggling with. You know the mistakes that you're making. Instead of being afraid or nervous all the time, why not challenge that thinking to help yourself improve? So every time I would speak, I just kept reminding myself that we're all human. We're all making mistakes. We all come up short sometimes. The only thing that matters is if we get up and keep going. It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to allow the fear of failure to prevent you from doing what you want to do. And if you just make it okay to fail and you realize that everybody is human, everybody makes mistakes, that will disrupt the fear of failure. Thank you so much for watching this video. Matter of fact, if you watch either one of these videos, I promise you they're going to solve a problem that you have.